And when they'd be like, how are the kids? I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're like, the kids suck.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Parenthood, the podcast where we dive deep into the messy, beautiful, and ever evolving world of parenthood alongside our inspiring guests. Today's episode is all about navigating parenthood with a bustling career and a supportive partnership. Joining me is the wonderful Genesia Alves, a writer and mom of three incredible kids. G's story is one of resilience, laughter in the face of chaos, and the beautiful dance between raising a family and pursuing your passions. G, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for all the lies you just told. Amazing. Yeah, really. Keep on, carry on. I'm listening. I'm loving this version of
Isn't
the
this
fictional version. You'll get George Clooney to play me in the movie.
isn't this what motherhood is all about? Just keeping up and
It's like actually something, you're like running a race and it's just like they just take the finishing line and
yeah,
they just keep moving it. Like somebody's got like finishing line and they're running in the front of you and they're faster than you are. You're always going to lose.
yeah, yeah. But but you've been doing it for so long, yeah. Like I'm sure you're not losing it.
Yeah, correct. That's what we'll go. That's the story we'll go by. I'm not losing it. I'm on top of everything. Like this, can you see? Like it's just amazing. I'm looking down on everyone. No, like my eldest is 23.
Yeah.
My second daughter is 19, and my youngest will be 14 in
Wow.
a couple of weeks. Yeah. So I started quite early, but the children are 10 years apart.
Yeah.
So we were in diapers for a decade, like the decade of
Wow.
diapers. And when they say that you lose, those are the lost years. You often hear moms say,
Yeah.
that's the lost decade. Whether you're at work or not at work, or you're balancing like a freelance career at home or whatever, you have to understand. I'm sorry to say this, guys. It's just because my sister just had a second baby. So, she gets really angry with me. She was like, you better get better.
Yeah.
It
Say
does. And, it does. And you find yourself, but it does take time. It takes a lot of wherewithal. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah. Before we get into the journey of motherhood and parenthood and all of that, G, let's get a glimpse of the person that you are. Tell us something about yourself, maybe three words or phrases that capture your essence.
that meme that is there, na? Despite the horrors, still she
Yeah.
persists, na?
Yeah. That's you.
Yeah. See, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like I think I'm painfully pragmatic, you know,
Hmm.
like just like, and it's not new. I mean, it's not old, it's new.
Yeah.
Like I'm the eldest of six children. My
Yeah.
parents had four of us in 5 years. Okay.
What?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I started washing people's bottoms when I was about four.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we grew up in Oman, and it was like,
Yeah.
I think I really idealized that time in my life because it was not your typical NRI experience. It was like very simple life. My parents were really lovely, hardworking people with
Mm-hmm.
a very ridiculous, they had no grip on much of reality. So like I think and now I understand that raising six kids must have been chaos. Like my mom had the youngest, they were twins at her age was 36, and everyone was like, oh, you're so old. Oh my God, it's a geriatric pregnancy. And then now people start their families at 36,
Yeah.
and so I remember my mom had quite a tough pregnancy, and I was about 11 years old, or 10 or 11. And I remember being quite like mature and feeling quite worried about everybody and everything. So I've just grown up worrying about everyone.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, there's also like there's a ludicrousness to life.
Yeah.
Okay, really believe that, and there's something that is in my family. Like we really hate when stress happens, and stress has happened to us consistently. Like my parents started falling ill quite early, and
Yeah.
we've had a lot of like fatkas and everything. But somewhere down there is, I don't know what it is. It's like it's like this, it's like, it's okay. Like I told you, like it's my bottom thing. Is someone in hospital? Is somebody ill?
Yeah.
That's not there. Everything else can be surmounted, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I think it's that bare minimum. And of course, I'm just talking shit, but I've been to therapy several times over the last few years, and that has really helped. I don't think therapy. People say therapy is not for everyone. I think you need to find the right therapist.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally believe that.
Yeah, so if it's like if you think therapy is not working for you, you've got the wrong therapist, because
Yeah.
eventually you will meet some kooky, spooky, weirdo lady who's like this beautiful witch who's sitting down in a house surrounded by her dogs, and she's the one for you.
Yeah.
Saying hi to my therapist right now. Know who you are.
Okay, okay then. And tell us something about your family, G. Tell us about your husband. Tell us about your
Yeah,
not so little ones.
so I met Rajesh when I moved to Bombay. He was my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, he's 5 years older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And we were really good friends. We just got along really well from day one. And he was very good with children, which, at that time, I used to find it very charming. I still do. I think it's a test. I think
Yeah,
it's a human test where if you can get along with a kid,
yeah,
not an 8-year-old or whatever. Though if you
yeah,
can, 8 years and 9 years are the biggest assholes. Like, they're very hard. They're a tough crowd, 8 and 9.
yeah.
But I'm saying if you can get along with a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old, and you know how to do this instinctively, I feel that you're a good human being.
Mm.
And I mean, that's one of the things that I noticed. I find him very intelligent. We are constantly in competition intellectually.
Yeah. Who wins?
Yeah, no, I don't let anyone win. I mean, it's
Uh-huh.
like, unless I'm winning, if I'm not winning, it's not a competition. That's my joke. It's like, but yeah, so we have, and then I got married when I was just short of my 24th birthday. But
Mm-hmm.
it seems like young, right? But I'm telling
Yeah,
you, at that time, it felt like the right thing to do.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so we've been married for 26 years, together for about 30 years. And it is uh, you need somebody who's reliable, and I think you need somebody who is willing to change, because I think women change naturally, and men don't have to
yeah, yeah.
actually get by without changing at all, not
Mm,
physically, not mentally, whatever. And the whole thing about, for example, you will know this now, when your baby cries
yeah,
or is in pain,
yeah,
you feel it. Okay,
yeah,
I think 99% of the moms I know, and if you don't feel it, please don't feel guilty. It's fine. It's
yeah.
like good for you. Like
And
you're
you're blessed if
you're
you don't
blessed.
feel
Okay?
it.
Which
Yeah,
is why when babies cry on planes, it is for
yeah.
me the most enjoyable thing. Like, somebody else's baby, not my baby. Like, fucking someone else's problem. Like, why can't, like, I find babies crying on planes extremely relaxing because it's not.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you're going to therapy, G.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. Like, I feel that guys, they also usually, because of the way the world is made and the way society is made, even if you're at an even par career wise,
Yeah,
having a baby will, and this didn't happen to us because I was 5 years younger than Rajesh, and different
yeah,
career paths. But I've seen this with people who were literally the same designation, and then they got married, and then somebody had a baby, and 6 months later, it's a different world. And what
yeah,
happens is we also have other failures. We have childcare failures.
yeah,
We have pay parity, of course,
yeah,
and we have the fact that whether you have, and I've talked about this a million times, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but it's not just women who have babies. It's
yeah,
women who might have to take care of somebody at home. Like,
yeah,
it might be an
yeah,
elderly parent, it might be a sibling with special needs, it might be that your house is falling apart. These
yeah,
things happen. We live in a very crumbly infrastructure world, and the maximum pressure falls on the woman, and somehow the guy is told that, oh, you're in charge of making money.
Hmm.
But actually speaking, if it was more equitable,
Yeah,
we would also be contributing, because the pressure on men does grow as well. You
yeah,
understand? In the beginning, they're damn happy. They don't have to change any diapers because they've got to pretend to work on Saturday now.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I'm on Sunday, like I said. But cut to 25 years later, you will have to retire. You will be edged out of the job market, just the way we are being edged out now, fighting to keep our place.
yeah,
So you better have a plan B, man. You better be connected to your family. It's good for you. When they say patriarchy hurts men, no, it,
Yeah,
it's most evident when you have a baby.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. So did it hurt Rajesh?
No, I hurt him.
You hurt him? How?
No, I'm just bullshitting. You know, uh, I think because I felt very confident with children, because I
Hmm.
was the eldest of so many kids, I didn't realize how hard motherhood would be.
Right.
It's like I didn't realize that I thought just helping out
Yeah.
was parenting.
Yeah.
My mom was always, you know what I'm saying? So when I
Yeah.
had the baby, like my first one, I kid you not, she did not sleep for 3 months. Okay. So it's like there's this whole thing that newborns sleep.
Yeah.
Motherfucker didn't sleep for 3 months. I was ragged. I became a different human being.
Yeah.
I became I became somebody I didn't recognize.
Hmm.
My second child was born when my first one was 5, and by the time she was 2 years old, before she was two, they told me she had acute asthma. Okay, and I knew that my world would change very dramatically after that. And when you say acute asthma, it is like it's like the child can't breathe, and
Right.
they're not necessarily very capable of expressing their feelings or telling you what exactly is going wrong. So you become that
Yeah.
person putting your head to her chest, checking your counting breaths, you're up all night, whatever, all of that. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there are days when you feel very alone. Like,
Yeah.
even if you're married to somebody and even if everything else is fine. And life also is going on simultaneously. Your parents are
Right.
getting ill. You're losing family members. My husband lost two family members, and you're not really there for each other.
Right. Yeah.
It's like that Sindhu V, the comedian, said that marriage is like when you have a child, it's like a tsunami on the beach holiday,
Yeah.
and it's literally that. So I think now I think we have a better idea of how we failed each other and how were there for each other. But
Hmm.
it's too late. It's okay. Our DNA has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole trauma now.
Yeah. And tell us something about the babies. Tell us something about the kids, how they are now. They are quite quite grown up, no?
Yeah, my eldest is doing her master's right now.
Wow.
She'll probably be done soon. And my second one is going away to university in India only.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big fatka for me. So overnight, two two kids gone. And my poor youngest, he's he's very chilled out. And but it's a big change for him also.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
suddenly his sisters have disappeared and he's just with these two ancient parents. But he's dealing with it, so it's okay. I think they're good kids. I think I've failed them in multiple ways, and it's very clear now to me. No, it's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean,
But why do you say so, G? Why do you say that? I think I mean, I think because from outside, this is what it seems like, that you've done a great, great, great job. They've turned out, from what I can see of them and I know of them, they've turned out to be beautiful, beautiful human beings, not just
they are good people.
yeah,
They're good
yeah.
human beings.
So why
That
do you say that you failed them?
because see, this is what we were talking about earlier about the expectations from mothers.
Yeah,
Okay, today it's very common to hear somebody my age or roughly my age, like I'm 50, so maybe someone say in their 40s, and thanks to the internet and all its wisdom,
yeah.
especially, oh, your parents did this to you and you end this cycle and
Yeah.
bloody blue, and you are like this because your mother didn't love you in the right way and blah 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 and everything.
Generational trauma.
Generational trauma.
Yeah,
Generational trauma didn't start with you.
yeah,
The generation, your parents, if you ask them really, and also parents don't tell you the truth of that, and they
yeah,
don't tell you how bad it was.
yeah,
They definitely don't tell you how bad their parents had it in
yeah,
turn.
yeah.
So I think there are days when the internet, or sometimes even your child, or maybe even your child's therapist, if that is
Yeah.
what you will tell you that you have failed,
Mm-hmm.
and you will not you know not to make excuses. And
Mm.
also, you know that you're managing a perspective, like
Mm.
you're managing your child's perspective.
Yeah.
Just the way your parents didn't have to manage your perspective. Like, I don't think I ever told my mother, "Oh, you fail me."
Yeah.
But today's children might tell you some, they might not say those, use those words.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I do think that, you're expected to bottle your own trauma. When they say, you dehumanize yourself,
Yeah.
like, suppose you're having a bad day, Neha.
Yeah.
Suppose you have had 3 bad days, not to do with your child, not to do with your
Yeah.
marriage. Suppose you're just having an
Yeah.
intellectually fuck all day.
Yeah.
You don't know what life is going to be like. You you worry about your career, you worry about climate change, whatever it is. You wake up one morning and you're in a shit mood for 3 days. Are you allowed to step back?
No, you
Just
have to be there.
you have to be there. There are women handling anxiety, handling mental health issues, handling some of them are single moms. We know them.
Yeah.
Nobody gives them a day off.
Yeah.
And of all of this, you also have to have a good body, have a job,
Yeah.
you always be like the person who makes the cupcakes for the whatever's going on. Be
Yeah.
be social,
Yeah. Yeah.
be social at the school gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Managing staff if you have staff, handling it if you don't have staff. Okay, people will tell you, why are you doing it yourself? Why can't you hire somebody?
Yeah. And
That
if
is
you
also
hire
managing it.
someone, no, and if you hire someone, then why don't you do it yourself? Why are you
Correct.
delegating? Yeah.
So I do think that these pressures are there, and you do end up feeling a little bit like you failed when you get to a certain moment in your life, and but then you also make peace with it.
Yeah.
Like, there was this thing when we were growing up, somewhere, like, maybe not when we were growing up, maybe when I was in my mid 20s, early 30s, where this guy Tom Robbins, who has since not he's not his books haven't aged well, but
Yeah.
my husband and I, one of his our favorite quotes is, "It's never too late to have a happy childhood."
Mm.
Okay, it's
How
beautiful.
beautiful.
So there are two. One, the other one is, why don't you call in well at work? Say,
Yeah.
having a good
Yeah.
day. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So yeah, very 90s anti-capitalist concepts. But it's never too late to have a happy childhood. I think is something everybody needs to take on.
Yeah.
Because all the blame that you might put on your parents, on your future, on your present, whatever's happened in the past, whatever it is, you take responsibility for your life.
Yeah.
So I've
Hmm.
told my kids that as well. I told them, I said, I'm not going to take any credit for who you all are, and I'm not going to take any blame either
Blame.
beyond a point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's very mature. And how did they take it?
They are quite cool, yeah. The thing is, they have been completely like brainwashed by me for
Yeah.
years. So they will, like, maybe they will analyze later. But I
Yeah.
think that two or three things, like, 2 or 3 rules, I'd never lie to your child.
Yeah.
It's hard. You tell them
Yeah.
you take them to the park so that they'll shut the fuck up, but you won't take them to the park. If you know that it's an if, then from the time they were small, like, I think this human respect for children, for all children, not just your own, is
Yeah.
a great tactic,
Yeah.
even if they're two,
Yeah.
especially if they're two.
Yeah.
Respect them like you do. And then when you grow up, you're such an equitable household. There's no because I said so, none of that.
Yeah.
Constant negotiation. And I am giving you a very uh happy over. It's
Yeah.
not been like that. In the
Yeah.
details, it's not like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But overall, it works.
Yeah. Yeah. And what are the other things you said? I'm going to tell you some things, and one of them is don't lie to them. What are the other things?
So yeah, so don't lie to them. You know, this is my opinion, and a
Yeah.
lot of my friends, or at least one or two of them for sure, I'm sure, judge me for it. But uh,
Get on.
it's become very hard to have an all-rounded life. Okay,
Yeah.
in Bombay and cities and stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
I do believe that the body and the brain are like very seriously connected.
Mm.
Like, you, so things like, it's stupid to say, like, everyone was like, oh, the children don't go out and play anymore. The children don't do this, and the children don't read, and the children. I think that is one thing you have to really prioritize, the health of their bodies. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it's not just in this don't eat junk food or whatever. I've noticed that the children are exercising regularly.
Yeah.
And, when they are, even if it is a class, even if
Yeah.
it is,
Scheduled activity in that sense.
if that's all you got, all right,
Yeah.
just make it a priority, because it becomes a stress buster as they get older. If you can teach them so I feel I failed my kids because I didn't push them to study in a musical instrument,
Yeah.
which is, another thing that you see adults, how they cope.
Yeah.
They by going for a run, or they cope
Yeah.
by playing the guitar or the piano, or they cope by having strong social connections, because these are all things that are engendered when you're small. You start relying
Right.
on, like my kids when they were very small, they like sometimes if they were really upset, I would give them a bath, like a
Mm.
warm bath,
Yeah.
like a bucket, and put them in the water. And
Yeah.
once my eldest was 5, she was like, Mom, I'm really upset, can you give me a bath?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's not that stuff that you see on Instagram where like some child
Yeah.
is crying and you're like, say I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm
Hmm.
worth. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's working for you, but also
Yeah.
teach them how your body should feel good, and
Yeah.
give them a healthy connection with food and with exercise and with, even studying and stuff. It all, I'm just saying that is something I tried to do.
Hmm. Yeah. But who told you all of this?
I learned it myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was like overweight my whole life. I
Yeah.
was always an exercising person. I loved being on the road. I used to run. I used to do a lot of stuff. But I after my second daughter got asthma, we I went on this like a research kind of a thing where I was like
Yeah.
looking at exercise and all, and it changed our whole lives. That's the other thing. Some bad shit will happen to you, but it might be good in the long run,
Yeah. Yeah.
because the children didn't eat junk. I
Yeah.
mean, they do.
Yeah.
Now, I think also.
Hmm.
One of them is going to be healthy. But like we just eat a little bit healthier, and we made certain choices, and it was not easy to get everybody on board. Some
Right.
shout,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if your husband is a Sindhi and he likes to bring snacks home.
Or worse, likes to make snacks at home.
No, I think I mean, if you can make snacks, then you've married a Maharaj. Well done. Like I'm telling you, he can cook. I don't know if he can make snacks. Making snacks is harder than making food. Okay, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I concur.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think that is. I mean, I know. Yeah. So that's what I did.
How how did you decide that because you were always surrounded by kids and like growing up, as you said, you were taking care of your siblings and you were always surrounded by kids. So is that where the idea of having kids and having multiple of them came from, or was where were you in all of that? Was it a conscious choice, or it just happened like in the process?
So yeah, that's a really. I think, I'm really jealous of people who've had the conversation about should we have kids or not.
Yeah.
Actually, I just think that even amongst my friends who are now, we are all in our 50s or whatever, I think I was the only idiot who just behaved like the previous generation. Okay. I assumed I would have children. Assumed it. It's like, like, of course, kids.
You can choose not to have kids.
It's not even a choose thing. I chose to
Yeah,
have children.
yeah, yeah.
If you ask me, would you do it again? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I'd go live somewhere where I could have 5 children, not
yeah,
just, okay?
yeah,
So I love it. And I
yeah,
also think having children is a shortcut to learning to be a better person. There are people who don't, but when you have children, you have to become a better person. It's like
yeah,
full penance. You do it. I think it's the easiest, most lo-fi way of like learning, understanding your parents, understanding your place in the world. Greatly humbling.
yeah.
You try to be cool and you have somebody vomit on your white shirt. You will never wear white linen. 10 years, no white linen. Oh, I'll just wear a white shirt and jeans. My ass, you're not gonna do none. You're, when you're like, pelvic floor is falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, sexy stuff like that. Couldn't wait. But yeah, I mean, I was really keen on having kids. I always loved children, and my husband also loved children, always did. And I mean, yeah, he was much more scared than I was, especially when
Mm-hmm.
we were pregnant for number three, which was quite a shock, horror. Uh, but I mean, it's been okay. Yeah, it's like, I think we've been lucky. Like, no matter
Yeah,
how hard it is, we've been lucky because I have this extended family. A lot of them are still around
yeah,
nearby where I live. And they're all kind of like, quite childlike.
yeah.
Like the attitude is very playful and whatever. We don't take life that seriously.
Mm,
So I think that was fun. I
mm.
enjoyed.
And now that they are grown up quite a bit, where in life are you, I think you are rediscovering yourself professionally. Is that right?
See, now I can make some commitments professionally. Like I was
Right.
telling you before, no? Like you sign
Yeah.
the contract and from the bedroom you go,
Yeah.
suddenly you get sick. Like,
Yeah.
like nobody talks about how children catch every goddamn cold till they're 5 years old.
Yeah.
Everything because they're building their immunity.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to leave a child who's put, like, for example, if someone has a serious illness, are you confident leaving them with someone who might have to make an emergency decision?
Yeah.
For me, that's what happened. I hired a nanny at some point of time and all, but I never found somebody who I could close my eyes and trust.
Yeah.
Like, so now I feel more confident. I'm very lucky to know many people, many women run organizations and women who are working who have just been so supportive of me and like, really like, I come and write, I come and do this, I do that, whatever. So, and also I'm going to say this and I keep telling everyone, especially for moms, if you're alone and, it's so hard in the beginning, you're so isolated. Um, the social media is a great place
Yeah.
to show your brand or, to show your brand sounds bad, but it shows that you still have a life.
Right.
Brain.
Yeah.
And I've made so many friends, like more than work.
Yeah.
It's been like I've just made like so many friends, like it's just been amazing. Like you also, like I
Yeah.
mean, obviously we're here together, and so many different perspectives. Like I just love it. So
Yeah.
it, yeah, so I'm grateful for whatever I get. So tell
Anyway,
me, how's it been for you? Sorry to like turn this around. I'm very interested. Like, how old is Rishan now? Like,
he'll be 15 months now.
15. So I mean, he's still a baby.
He is a baby. I Yeah. It's been better than what I had imagined. I think I was over prepared and I had a lot of time. Like I took 5 years to decide whether I want to have a kid or not.
And then
So,
how did you decide?
oh, my eldest, like I have four dogs. My
Yeah.
eldest Scotch, he's now 13, nearing 13, or maybe he is 13. He is very, very old and he's fragile and he might go anytime. Like, I wish he doesn't, but that's the reality of life. And when I see him, and he's a lab, and labs are very, very, very playful. And he's like an overgrown puppy. And whenever I see him, used to see him also, just wanted to like I this visual would keep coming to me that he's playing with a child, and I wanted to give him that.
Wow.
And I just oh my god, don't.
So we also had, we've always had, my mom's house has always had dogs, and there's really something about imagining something.
Yeah, and I really had that, kind of, vision, you can say that. So I always used to see him, you know, playing with, taking care of that little baby and all of that. And I thought, if not now, and I knew I wanted to raise kids, I just didn't know how they will come to me, because I was not at all sure that I wanted to carry a child. Like I didn't want to get pregnant, I didn't want to push a child out of my vagina and all of that. Like never ever wanted that. And for the longest time, Siddhant, my husband, and I, we had a discussion about adoption, and he was not into it. So I was not into pregnancy, he was not into adoption. So we kind of boxed the idea and we kept it aside for many years, around 5 years. And by that time, we had decided that, okay, like this is our life and these are our kids. We have four of them and no kids, dual income, no kids family. But yeah, when I started having this vision, so I started convincing Siddhant that I think we should have a baby. And he was like, oh my God, don't do this to me now. Because now I am completely, settled with this idea of
Yeah.
I don't want to have a kid and all of that. But yeah, we talked, and it also, this talking and convincing also took many months. So yeah, this discussion happened. But then yeah, I decided that okay, if this is the way this kid has to come through, let this be the way. So yeah, we got pregnant.
So then how do you feel now? Like, how do you feel like, is it up to your expectations? Like,
Oh yeah. So I think one of the things that really helped me was I earlier I didn't know better. I think as a society we don't discuss it, and we should, that we have a choice in terms of how we choose to have the children come to us, like,
Mm.
in terms of the mode of delivery. So the only thing that you hear about is the natural delivery. I hate this term. I hate this term natural. There's nothing natural about it. It's vaginal. And surgeries, I think, I mean, even though it is a manual process and all of that, but it is still natural, as much natural as it can be. And I'm very happy to have had a surgery. Like, couldn't be happier. Couldn't
Yeah.
be happier. The day, I don't know why it took me 35 years to just realize. I mean, I always knew that I could opt for a surgery, but I didn't know I could go into the pregnancy knowing that I would have a surgery. That's
Yeah,
what
but that is change, no? Like I'm saying that they push you to have that like that no, vaginal birth or whatever, okay? And it can be very traumatic.
yeah.
Can
I
be very traumatic.
I think what put me, I think we'll stop this discussion now, because I want to ask you a lot of questions and you have limited time. I don't want to carry into my story, but I'll just tell you this and then we'll stop this discussion, that I had a very traumatic incident. I didn't have it. I learned of a very traumatic incident. Classmate's elder sister, she was in Singapore and she was due to have twins, and there are four of them, like, right? And Singapore, you can know the gender of the babies. So she was having two girls, and they're prepared, four of them, I mean, two are unborn yet. And the husband and the wife, they live together. They are, these high flying expats building a life of their own, have a beautiful mansion, and they keep posting their social media pictures, and it's a beautiful life. She is full term going into the delivery, and she had an aneurysm, and she died giving birth. And she gave birth to the two daughters because she knew, I mean, the entire family knew she was going to give birth to two daughters. They had named the daughters, so the daughters had names before they were born, so they came along, they were named, and the grandparents held them in their arms, the father held them in their arms. Their mom had gone, and suddenly there was these two kids, and within an hour of their mothers passing away, the two girls also went one by one. And suddenly, from being a to be family of four, there was a family of
What
one.
happened to the babies?
They passed away. They just, and the doctor said, I don't remember it clearly because I was very young when it happened. But and I went crazy after that. I just scoured the internet because I couldn't get to, like, I was not strong enough to just pick up the phone and call my friend and talk about her sister, because I still haven't. But I went crazy. I went crazy about that story. I stalked the hell out of them. I went through their mother's profile, the friend's profile, the sisters, the brother-in-law, everyone, and I pieced the stories together. And yeah, so the babies passed away. So suddenly, from being a family of four, they were reduced to being a family of one. And for this side, like the girl side, suddenly there was a family of none. It was, I think that was the single most defining event of my early life, early adult life, which made me decide that I don't want to get pregnant ever. But yeah, I did, and it was okay.
Oh, and
And
it's a big lottery, that's the thing. Like I feel that even people some people they get pregnant so easily. Like
yeah,
some people really struggle. And
yeah,
then and I think this whole we need to be respectful when we speak about like having babies, because it is not, despite like modern technology and like scans and great doctors and everything,
yeah,
it is still, there is still some element of like unpredictability about it. And that's why that whole thing, like at least now we're learning. You
yeah,
know, ask couples who haven't had babies, hey, what's going on, why haven't you had a baby
yeah,
yet? Maybe
yeah,
they're trying,
yeah,
maybe they don't give a shit. But
yeah,
either way, let's not rake it up.
yeah,
Let's like make it difficult for people to having to why you don't owe, it's a personal, like you don't owe anyone an explanation, and it is very frightening. I remember, like, also, when you're pregnant, there will always be people who will come and tell you the latest horror story in town.
yeah,
You know what happened to her? And like, I'm not kidding you. Each time, when you're having
yeah,
a baby, you're kind of tense right through. You're
yeah,
worried about it. You're not so sure. Sometimes you feel something like, oh my God,
yeah,
something wrong. Whatever. You're on the internet a lot,
yeah,
like that What to Expect book when we were younger. Like,
yeah,
you'd get the What to Expect book. And there was
yeah,
an entire section on losing your baby.
yeah,
And I would pin it in such a way that by mistake also I would not see it. I was
uh-huh,
so frightened to look at it
yeah,
by mistake.
yeah,
You should treat women who are pregnant with a lot of care, like emotional care, not just stand up and give them the seat. It's also like they are not in control. I think I was not in control. The first time I lost control of myself was when you're pregnant. You're like, for the
yeah,
first time in your life.
yeah. For the longest time, this brings up so many memories, because for the longest time, like I have mental health issues,
Yeah,
anxiety, depression, everything that you can think of.
yeah.
My mental health has not troubled me as much as my pregnancy has,
Yes,
because
I know.
somewhere you can learn to manage your mental health. You have medication, you have therapy, you have support. But in pregnancy, what do? I remember there used to be days when I used to wake up, and I could not wake up, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
not get up. And your mind is working full speed, like, I know I can do this, and you're working, right? Like, I was working. I
yeah.
had 10 things to do during the day, and I know I can, like, I'm on the top of everything in my head, but in my body I can't even move.
Yeah.
And the kind of frustration that would ensue after that, it was just horrible, because what do you do?
But I think the thing is that I think that is what I feel like. Like you ask a lot of people who are in like who are in the corporate
Yeah,
arena or like whatever, and they say that moms get it done.
yeah,
We don't have 5 minutes extra to order pizza for the meeting. We've got to
yeah,
do the meeting and then we're going to go. Like they're the
yeah,
most productive people. And what
yeah,
happens, like, and I keep telling like told this to my sister, I've told it to other people who have small children, that every horrible thing that happens to you, if you kind of internalize it and kind of like, just be a little bit mindful of it over time, it's not going to happen immediately, but over time, the kind of confidence it builds in you.
yeah,
Okay. I have seen like, mothers walk in arrogant
yeah,
and because we have stared at the beast straight in our faces.
yeah,
There was this beautiful thing this John Hopkins hospital said when they're talking about children being seriously ill. Okay,
yeah,
wait, but like they were like, what is the number one indicator of a child being ill, like seriously needing like ICU? And the all the doctors said the mother.
yeah.
The mother will tell you.
She's,
Even
yeah,
if you cannot clinically find something, if the mother saying something is wrong,
yeah,
please don't stop investigating.
yeah,
You know, and once you read that, see, and that's the other thing, a lot of this is a complaint I hear from a lot of moms who are, the children are small, and to some extent, I've gone through it as well. Your child is ill, you are
yeah,
physically feeling it. Your
yeah,
child can't breathe, you're physically feeling it. Your child is like has fever and is like out of it, you're physically feeling it. Plus, you have to take care of them.
yeah,
Somebody tell you You're not that ill.
Yeah.
Why are you stressing?
Hmm.
Why can't you relax?
One tight slap.
So what happens is after a point of time, you just rely on yourself. Like for example, once my daughter, you know, before I figured out how to handle the asthma and everything, I would
Yeah.
put my head to her chest to hear the
Yeah.
wheeze. Now, for
Yeah.
her, that has become a trauma.
Right.
A mother being panicky.
Yeah.
So she has had to go to therapy, I'm sure, because of this. Like I
Yeah.
was this hyper fucking bitch, but I was what? But I'm telling you, she was quite. She was so when when my son was born,
Yeah.
she got pneumonia, but we didn't diagnose it for ages. So like she had to go to hospital and everything. But she was 3 years old in hospital, all right, and I
Wow.
had a newborn at home. So we would like doing that whatever. I couldn't spend one night in the hospital with her, for example. So
Yeah.
when she was 6 or 7 years old, one day, I would know she was getting the attack before
Yeah.
she, just by
Yeah.
the way she would walk or the way she would sit or the way she would speak. And I put my head against her chest and I couldn't hear that wheeze that
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
But I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
So it was Sunday, I called up the doctors. There was one pediatrician there, not a regular one. And I took her to him. And he said, oh, yeah, one of her lungs has shut. That's why
What?
you're not wheezed. Yeah, one of the lungs had shut. So we
Oh,
had to give her oxygen and do whatever. And now I'm saying that mother's instinct.
yeah.
Somebody will tell you, oh, you can't hear a wee, she's fine. But you know something's wrong. And the
Right.
trouble is that gives you a sense of power, but it also makes you really nervous because for the
Yeah.
rest of your life, you are where the buck stops, not even the
Right.
damn child.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're on you. This is how you live your life, fight or flight
Yeah.
for 10,
Yeah.
15 years. How will it not make you crazy?
Yeah. How did it not make you crazy?
I'm telling you, I processed everything.
Hmm.
And also, I'll tell you something else, okay? And I'm saying this about every single woman should do it every day for 1 hour,
Hmm.
whether it's a walk or it's a yoga class or it's a gym or it's whatever. Your body has taken such a beating having a baby,
Yeah.
and physical muscle, I really believe, builds emotional muscle.
Yeah.
Just in better nick, mentally, physically. You're just strong. You have to pick up your baby, lift a
Yeah.
weight. And that 1 hour, for 1 hour, you have to concentrate on yourself. We forget who we are, yeah.
Yeah.
So the moment the baby is a certain age, also there's breastfeeding. You should breastfeed the baby, but you're attached then to that baby. Like
Yeah.
it prolongs that attachment for such a long time.
Yeah.
So but all I'm saying is you should take care. That, when they say that, what's that thing called?
Yeah. Oxygen
Breathing
mask.
mask. Yeah. For me, exercise was that.
Yeah.
I would go do a yoga class 4 times a week, go for a walk, something or the other. And I would be in a better frame of mind after that to handle the stress of.
Yeah. Yeah. But as you said, G, that a decade of diapers, like I find that quite insightful in a way that a decade, like it's a long time. It's for now you are 50, so it's like a one-fifth of your life spent right there,
Yeah, yeah.
in that zone. So how did you do it over and over and over again, knowing, like, first time I know that, even I, being where I am, I say, okay, first time I'll do it because there is novelty and you decided and all of that, but then you do it over and over and over again, you choose to do it. How?
It's become very unpopular to talk about the joy of having children.
Oh,
It has
oh,
become
I am so with
unpopular to
you.
talk about how fulfilling it is to
Yes.
have a decentish marriage. Yeah, of course, on the day to day, you want to get up and drive a stake through your husband's heart, okay?
Yeah.
But there is also something good in it. And it's
Yeah.
not just about the patriarchy. And it's not just, we are very aware, we have all the information.
Yeah.
But yeah, is it nice sometimes to be sitting down with this like gang that you've made yourself?
More than sometimes.
Yeah,
More
it
than
is.
sometimes.
It is, of course, there's like it's a 80-90% heartbreak. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, your child will look at it, I hate you and all, and they really hate you at that moment. It's not like, oh, you will grow up and understand. Like maybe by the time you grow up to understand, I'll be not here.
Yeah.
But there is practically every mom I know, okay, it's like a chance to do something for the world. It's a
Yeah.
chance to be part of society in a meaningful way. I raised three children who, are kind to people? Are they going out on the road and helping? Like, are they aware of strangers? Okay,
Yeah.
like not strangers, like beware of strangers.
Yeah.
Are you aware that somebody might need your help? You
Yeah.
know, I have had other mothers call me and say, your daughter did this for my daughter, or your daughter did that for
Yeah.
my daughter, something else. It is. Um, it is fulfilling.
Yeah.
And it is so uncool to say that. I'm not allowed to say it.
No, you are. You
No,
are.
I'm
I'm a
saying, like,
big,
you know what I mean? It's the
no,
most
no.
uncool thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but I
it's
think
all,
I'm a big, big proponent of, my biggest pet peeve throughout my pregnancy and even before that and after I had my kid was that everybody talks about the shit show that it is. Nobody talks about the joy that
yeah,
it is.
because also, to be honest, it's also painful to watch somebody else having fun with their child. Okay. Yeah. Like everybody thinks their child is cute. Okay. But it's like, it's like a 6 on 10 game. Great for you. You know what I mean? But now people just feel like, oh man, she always talks about her children. Oh, she posts about her children. I very seriously didn't do it because I was probably one of the only people in my entire circle who went on to have kids. That's the
Yeah,
other thing. I've grown up with people who have not had children. But today, people have cats that they're posting more about than I would ever dare to post about my kids.
yeah,
Okay. And it's like they will say, oh, I'm a cat mommy, I'm a plant mommy, I'm a this mommy, I'm a that mommy. But actual people who are doing their best to raise good human beings are not allowed to say, hey, today my kid did this, or today I
yeah,
don't say they're not allowed,
yeah,
but it's not cool.
yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
honest with you, I'm guilty of that myself. Like I don't think my kids are that great. I'll be honest with you. Okay. I don't look at anyone with rose colored glasses, not even my children. Ask them if you ever have a chance, if any of their drawings was up on the fridge.
hmm,
I'm like, no, brother, not good enough, you
yeah,
know. But I will not give you free praise. I will not say you can do anything you want because you can't.
yeah,
It is hard to tell your child this,
yeah,
that you cannot be anything you want to be. These are all
yeah,
hard things to do, but we're doing it and it is fulfilling.
yeah,
And it's nice to have an adult walk in the room sometimes and get you
yeah,
and get them.
hmm, yeah,
It's all about, like, I mean, it's like this modern life has just colored this whole parenting and husband wife situation. It's nice not to be like, how come you guys are romanticizing all those pictures of those old people holding each other's
right,
hands and walking on the road,
yeah.
but you're also
You get
waiting for
there.
the bottom to drop out of everyone's marriage. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I mean,
yeah. I hear you. Yeah, this is, I
so
think
it is fulfilling. You do get the sense that it's a different kind of fulfillment, but it is a life's work.
yeah, yeah. And do you have like from your journey of so many years, almost more than 2 decades now, do you have a couple of moments or small memories that stand out to you, which have had a lasting influence of you on you?
So I'll tell you one thing, no.
Yeah,
It's not a one single moment.
yeah,
It's a thing. When I was a child, okay,
mm,
because when you have 6 kids and you're living in a different, like, you were living in a country where there wasn't like a lot going on. There wasn't stuff to do really. My dad and my mom, we used to have a station wagon. My dad and mom would be like, let's go for a drive. Okay.
uh-huh,
And they throw us all in the car. And my dad would put some music on. And we would just drive for an hour, and
wow,
we'd go out or he plays music and, my parents would be talking and, it was, and then when we came to Bombay in that time, this was in the late 80s. That time Bandra wasn't as bad as it is now. It
yeah,
wasn't the great freaking hub that it's, I don't know what jungle it has become. And so, that time, like, Linking Road used to shut down on Thursdays. In the old days, different areas of Bombay used to shut down on different days of the week.
right,
It's
right,
lovely. Um, so on Thursdays, my dad would sometimes put us in the we had a beat up Fiat, which now and then, if we went to mass outside church after the church was over, my dad would be like, "Hey guys, push ya." 6 car. And like it's like a spectacle. It was a spectacle. So what happened was, from the time the children were small, I used to drive them to places, like chauffeur them here,
yeah,
there. So it became a thing that we'd go for a drive. and we listen to some music, and like, and we have this rule, the driver is the DJ. So there was none of your like shit music. You're listening to my shit music. But then, like One Direction and all is built for the adults as
Yeah.
well. So we lived on a road where which is on the way to Cart Road.
Uh,
A nice place for like once in a while to drive. And sometimes I'd be coming back from late night, and they would all be a little bit tired and all. And then I'd just drive past the house.
uh-huh.
And they would realize in like maybe like 5 or 10 seconds, and there would be this cheer that would go on for the back. And
Wow.
I think, you know, I will always remember that. That is for me, that is the most important thing, that, that it's like they say, children don't remember the incident, they remember how they felt.
Yeah.
So when they say, oh, why are you taking your kid to like some fancy place for a hotel, for a holiday, they're not going to remember.
Yeah.
But they will. It changes their DNA. It changes
Yeah.
who they are, And I feel that I would sometimes tell I told my kids, like, for me, heaven is that. Like, I'm
Yeah.
driving and my family in the car.
Wow.
That's what I want to do. That's like that's my idea of bliss.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just had a series of goosebumps while you told us this story.
Yeah, but it's cute now because I have children, and my greatest memory is like burning up the environment with them.
Okay, okay. How dare you bring us back to reality like that?
The conundrums of adulthood, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I'm very conscious of time and the limited time we have with you, G. So I'll just cut this short and I will ask you our last two questions. Okay,
Oh.
very, very short two questions. One is that what do you think that the parents of today, the parents of yesteryears, they need not feel guilty about?
They don't feel like whatever you failed in. I think even acknowledging that you failed
Yeah,
is all you need. You would be remiss to say that you didn't do the right thing because you were not given all the information. You were
yeah,
not given all the time. We are so financially stable in many ways compared to other people. We have none of the pressures that, it depends on what you're dealing with. Like,
right.
like if your parents are really ill
Yeah,
around the time that your children are babies,
yeah,
has anyone asked you how you felt? No, everybody forgets everything. It's the largest. So I think just keep the larger perspective in mind. And it's never too late to have a happy childhood, whether you want to reparent yourself or you want to give your children the power to.
yeah.
So yeah, so I would say like just, say I fucked up, get on with it, because there's no point looking back. I'm telling you, there's just zero point looking back. You have to just go forward and be better.
Yeah, yeah,
No one's perfect.
yeah. I think that's golden advice. And yeah, and the last thing, it's also related to what I said just now, but also if you were to leave just one message with our listeners, something that embodies your spirit and resonates with your journey, 2.5 decades into parenthood, what would that be?
All moms are hot. Okay, mom boards, hot boards. Okay, these are women who have not changed. They are the same women, only there are more rooms. That whole thing about motherhood is a new room in your brain, all right,
Right.
in your life. All right, I noticed that there is a thing where like women are scared to have babies to some extent because they feel their bodies will change. That,
Yeah.
don't place your whole power on your sexuality.
Yeah.
Person had to have sex to have a baby, unless you've adopted a baby. But even then, that the aspect, the whole life of like taking care of a child, putting them first, will impact you and how the world treats you. And I'm really sorry to say this, the world can really go suck a lemon, because the world does treat you better when you come across as, if your hair is blow dried, or you've got the right
Yeah.
makeup on, or you've got the right outfit on, or you're a certain weight or whatever. Okay. And motherhood, like we've just discussed, you lose track of your body, your time, your brain, your whatever. And at the same time, you're also, people kind of look down on you. I don't know if they mean to do it or what, but they kind of like we used to go to parties and somebody would, and it was often a woman, which is very
Yeah.
depressing, to be honest. They'd be ask my husband, oh, how's work and how's it going? And they'd be like, how are the kids? I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the kids suck. So I'm saying that, there is a dehumanization of mothers.
Yeah.
Whether you're deifying them and saying, oh, mothers are the superheroes, that's also dehumanization.
Yeah.
And don't tell me that motherhood is the job either, because where the fuck is my salary then? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, whether we chose to or we didn't choose to, we are mothers. It is a different world life experience. Impossible to tell somebody who has not had a child. I'm sorry to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
Just I don't know what it's like to
Yeah.
not have children at
Yeah.
50 and live on my own and be really financially independent and whatever. I don't know that.
Yeah.
Cannot imagine. You using your mother's example is not good, whatever. So treat women with a lot of respect and love, please, for the love of God, because God knows, in 10 years' time, they might develop revenge bodies, and then it'll be very dangerous for you because they forget. Because you have to keep track of all your children's classes. So you remember who insulted you when you were young.
Yes.
Warn. My last message is a warning.
No, we needed that. I think our listeners needed that. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for sharing this with us, G. And
My pleasure.
I think your journey is a reminder for all of us that, with all its ups and downs and all its chaos and all its yeah, whatever it brings along with it, parenthood can be a really, really beautiful adventure filled with love, laughter, and growth.
Fun, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you'll be poor, and all your clothes will have puke on them. But it's fine.
Thank you.
I
Thank
hope
you so much for
that was
being with
fun.
us.
Yeah. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you. Thank
Bye.
you. If you found something in today's conversation that moved you, please share this episode with a friend or fellow parent who could use some encouragement. And remember to subscribe to Parenthood to stay connected to our growing community. Your reviews and feedback are incredibly valuable. They help us shape the show and keep the conversations flowing. And lastly, let's keep this community vibrant and supportive. Until next time, keep embracing the chaos, cherish the small victories, and always remember you're doing an incredible job. Until next time, this is Neha Garg signing off. Take care and stay well.